Talmor, Shishin Magachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The Heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
If you're a fan of rock music, you'll know Headstones, formed in Kingston, Ontario back in 1987, immediately making a name for themselves as one of Canada's best live bands, selling out shows across the country until, that is, they called it quits in 2003. And then their singer Hugh Dillon's acting career started taking off. The band eventually reformed in 2011, and now they're 10 albums deep. Their latest, called Flight Risk, was released last year in October. And when Hugh was a guest, we talked about comic books, Marvel and DC, marijuana's legalization, his love of the tragically hip, his first concert, the music that was in his house as a kid growing up, binging Narcos and how crazy good that series is. And Hugh talked about acting in Hardcore Logo and its importance for him getting into acting and traveling down that path. Listen to this.
Oh, it was everything. I had, it taught me everything. I was, Callum Rennie is, I think the greatest actor in this country. And years ago, all those years ago, and I'll tell you why, because he's just got great instincts. But when somebody is not threatened and can teach you, that is the sign of greatness in my mind. And I wouldn't realize it till years later. Mm-hmm. But that guy and Bruce McDonald, brought me into this world with actors and technicians and just really creative, generous minds. It was such a great way in, because the business isn't always like that. It can be, about the money, and it can be about egos and so many things that could turn you off and you just wouldn't pursue it. Because obviously I pursued, when I was younger, I had a dramatic arts teacher at KC, where I went to school with the guys in the hip, who just said, you should get into acting. And I just couldn't, I loved rock and roll. Music was the only thing for me at the time. There was just too many rules and too many opinions that other people had with acting, that I just thought, this is just, a clusterfuck of horseshit. And I can't cope, and it just brings out the worst in me, because it's people kind of pushing their agendas. And, I wanted to write my own songs and do my own thing. And Hardcore Logo showed me that this world of independent film and acting could be great.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
The thing that I fought tooth and nail to bring my son into is Dungeons and Dragons. That is the ultimate solution to parenthood.
I'm Alexis Ohanian. In my podcast, Business Dad, I'm hoping to open up the conversation about balancing careers and family. I talked to Rainn Wilson. I wanted to learn more about Rainn's advice to play D&D with your kids. Business Dad is available now, so be sure to listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.